China's rapidly expanding fleet is fueling fresh concerns about the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. As Beijing launches warships at record speed, Washington continues to grapple with shipbuilding delays. The numerical gap between the Chinese and American destroyer fleets is shrinking faster than many analysts predicted. China's naval buildup is increasingly being viewed as a direct challenge to decades of U.S. maritime supremacy. The latest expansion comes amid growing warnings that China is approaching military parity with the United States in key areas. China is accelerating its naval modernization drive, raising fresh questions about America's long-standing dominance at sea. The People's Liberation Army Navy has crossed a major milestone, with more than 45 of its newest destroyers now operational. The achievement was marked by the entry into service of the Type 052D destroyer Tongchuan. Chinese shipyards continue to work at full pace, with 14 more advanced destroyers already being built. If current construction plans stay on track, China's modern destroyer fleet could reach nearly 60 vessels. The Type 055 acts as China's premier surface combatant, while the Type 052D provides the core strength of the fleet. These warships are designed to carry diverse missile arsenals, giving China greater flexibility in both offensive and defensive operations. With new warships entering the fleet, China is on track to operate nearly 60 modern destroyers in the years ahead. When older classes are included, Beijing's destroyer force could grow to an impressive 76 vessels. Such numbers would bring China remarkably close to matching the United States in one of the most important naval categories. China's shipbuilding industry continues to expand at a pace unmatched by most of its global competitors. Meanwhile, American shipyards have struggled with delays and production challenges that have slowed fleet expansion. Analysts say the growing fleet reflects Beijing's determination to extend its military reach well beyond the Western Pacific. A top U.S. military warning has emerged just days after Donald Trump praised his recent talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping. A senior U.S. Marine Corps general has now warned that China should be viewed as America's military equal. Lieutenant General Stephen Sklenka said China can no longer be described merely as a near-peer rival to the United States. Speaking at the Modern-Day Marine Expo in Washington, Sklenka declared that Beijing now rivals Washington across nearly every major area of power. The Marine General also warned that any future war with China would make the Iran conflict pale by comparison. According to Sklenka, even Iran, despite being a mid-tier power, managed to inflict significant military pain on the United States and its allies. Sklenka further warned that China's shipbuilding capacity is now reportedly 230 times larger than that of the United States. The general also claimed Beijing has rapidly expanded its ballistic missile arsenal and nuclear submarine production capabilities. The warning comes just days after Trump publicly hailed his discussions with Xi Jinping as productive and successful. Lieutenant General Stephen Sklenka said, and I quote, "The Chinese leader's vision is to upend the international structure and supplant us as the global leaders. And in many ways, it's been Xi's thinking, his vision that has helped my own thinking about the demands of modern warfare, particularly when waged in the Pacific and particularly waged against a peer adversary, something that's new to all of us. We're about 2 months into combat operations with epic fury. We've got service members who have tragically been wounded and killed by Iran. They've launched hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles at our bases and our allies throughout the region. Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, reinforcing the point that the bases that we have, they're no longer administrative garrison sanctuaries. We really need to start looking at our bases as warfighting formations, just as critical of a warfighting formation as our divisions, wings, and MEUs. Their nuclear stockpile is the fastest growing in the world. They're pursuing innovative, intelligentized warfare tactics. They're using artificial intelligence, drone swarms, exploring the cognitive and innovative domains to achieve their dominance. They're building a military design to dominate the Pacific, and I believe ultimately beyond the Pacific. None of us in uniform today have ever had to operate in a world where a legitimate peer simultaneously contests us in every single domain. We are talking terrestrially and non-terrestrially, kinetically and non-kinetically. We're going to have to fight to get to that fight, and we're going to have to embrace these challenges and not operate under the auspices of how we did in the 80s and 90s. History is proven, and our current operations are confirmed, that the society that can project and sustain power and sustain their forces most effectively, ultimately, they prevail, unquote. A top U.S. Marine general has warned that any future war with China may not begin with missiles, fighter jets, or conventional battlefield attacks. Lieutenant General Stephen Sklenka said the opening strikes could instead target American military bases through cyber warfare and other non-kinetic attacks. Sklenka warned that the Pentagon must urgently strengthen base defenses before any confrontation with Beijing erupts. The Marine general specifically called for hardened infrastructure, resilient power grids, and stronger counter-drone systems across U.S. military installations. His remarks come amid growing fears in Washington that China's military buildup has reached a level capable of directly challenging the United States. Sklenka also claimed Chinese President Xi Jinping has effectively placed China on a wartime footing backed by massive industrial output. The warning adds fresh urgency to rising US-China tensions even after President Donald Trump described his recent talks with Xi as successful.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.